Someone in Shanghai just paid $22 to let a robot fold their laundry.
And the robot wasn't there to help, it was there to learn what a real living room looks like. Turns out that's the part nobody knew how to get. The lab problem has a name in robotics: distribution schist. You train a robot in one environment, it learns that environment brilliantly, and the moment the real world diverges from what it practiced, a coat on a chair, a window letting in afternoon light, the whole thing falls apart.
Because the coat wasn't in the training data. Neither was the chair being at a slight angle. Neither was the light coming in differently at 4 p.m. than it did at 10 a.m. when the robot learned where the table was.
So the solution is obvious in retrospect. You just need a million different homes, a million different countertop heights and cluttered junk drawers and cats that walk through the frame.
And apparently people will pay you $22 to send a robot into their house to learn all of that.
Which is the part that keeps catching me. The company isn't subsidizing this. Families in China are the ones paying, which means they're not just tolerating the data collection, they find it valuable enough to spend money on.
It's either novelty or they genuinely think they're investing in something, like buying in early.
The robotics equivalent of being an early Uber driver. You're helping build the network and also you think something is coming.
And what's coming, if this actually works, is training data that no company running a test facility can replicate. You cannot simulate a real grandmother's kitchen. You cannot simulate a toddler's bedroom at the end of the day. The entropy of actual lived-in spaces is the whole point.
There's a version of this where China doesn't win the robot race by building the best hardware or writing the best code. They win it by having 10,000 homes worth of a robot trying to fold a shirt that slipped off the counter.
Dexterous manipulation is the hard part. Everyone knows it. A robot that can pick up a grape without crushing it, fold a fitted sheet, open a bag of chips, that's the unsolved problem, and you don't solve it in a warehouse.
You solve it in a house where someone left the bag of chips at the edge of the table and the lighting is bad and there's a dog.
The country that normalizes robots in homes first doesn't just get the market, they get the data advantage that compounds for years before anyone else can catch up.
And the people funding it think they're getting a novelty experience for $22.
Meanwhile, the money that pays for all those robots is getting rewired too.
The traditional banking system runs on bankers' hours, Monday through Friday, roughly 9 to 5, with weekends and holidays as dead zones where money just sits. A payment you send Saturday afternoon might not actually settle until Tuesday.
And we've accepted that as just how money works, like gravity. It's not a law of physics, it's a design choice made in the 1970s.
Mastercard just decided to stop accepting it. They're building stablecoin settlement directly into how they process transactions. Settlement is the moment money actually changes hands and lands in the right account, not just the promise of it. Wire that into a blockchain-based system and the network clears on Saturday night, on Christmas at 3 a.m.
And the key word is blockchain, a shared ledger that doesn't belong to any single bank, so it doesn't keep their hours. $1 in, $1 digital dollar out, moving like a text message instead of like a wire transfer.
Which means no waiting for a bank to open, no batch processing window. The money moves when the money moves.
And Mastercard isn't a startup experimenting on the edges. They're one of two networks that basically run global card payments. When they wire something into their core infrastructure, it becomes real in a way that a crypto pilot program never is.
The thing that strikes me is what this does to the concept of settlement risk, the small window where a transaction has happened, but the money hasn't actually landed anywhere. That window is where a lot of financial fragility lives.
Compress that window to near zero around the clock, and some of the buffers banks hold just to manage timing gaps start looking like a lot of idle cash.
And if the biggest payment network on Earth is doing this, the question for every other bank and network isn't whether to follow, it's how far behind they're willing to fall first.
The rails are getting faster, and the next question is whether the institutions built around slow rails can change fast enough, or whether they just get routed around.
There's a company selling testosterone supplements that figured out their real customer wasn't the person searching Google, it was ChatGPT.
which is a completely different problem to solve. Google ranks pages, you game the ranking, but AI chatbots like ChatGPT read forums and communities and then summarize what people are saying. So if you want the AI to recommend your product, you need people to be saying it.
Or something that looks like people.
Supplement and hormone therapy companies have been flooding Reddit with fake posts. Not fake reviews on their own site, fake conversations between fake users in subreddits that have nothing to do with them.
And it's working. ChatGPT pulls from Reddit because Reddit looks like real human experience. Millions of people asking questions, getting answers, sharing what worked for them. That signal is exactly what these models are trained to trust.
So you don't need to convince a human reader. You just need enough posts saying the right thing in the right communities often enough that the AI starts treating it as consensus.
Subreddit moderators started noticing. Some of them have banned entire topics, just locked down the subject completely because they couldn't keep up with how fast the fake posts were coming in.
Which is a strange outcome. The manipulation gets bad enough that the real information disappears too, because the only way to stop the fake signal is to kill the whole conversation.
And this is early. The companies doing this now figured it out before most people even understood that AI search was pulling from communities this way.
The incentive structure is just sitting there. If the AI recommends your product to every person who asks about it, what's that worth to you? And that's before you consider what happens when companies outside supplements figure this out, when it's pharmaceuticals, financial products, political candidates. The fake signal playbook is being written right now by people selling testosterone boosters. The next users are going to have much higher stakes. Before we go, a few more things.
A filmmaker named Ash Kusha just premiered a feature-length drama about the Iranian protests at Tribeca Film Festival. Every single image, every character, AI generated. Total budget, $2,000.
Traditional CGI would have cost millions. Tribeca accepted it anyway. First fully AI-generated live-action film at a major festival.
Whether that's the door opening or the floor dropping out is a question nobody's landed on yet. Scientists are proposing that Mars rock samples, whenever we bring them back, shouldn't come to Earth first, store them on the moon. Robotic Lab analyzes the material millions of miles from any ecosystem we care about.
If Martian rock carries something biologically unpredictable, Earth is a bad place to find out. The moon becomes the place we get the answer, and if the answer is wrong, it stays up there.
Google has been emailing Android developers with cash offers to buy their private app code. The emails don't mention AI. The links go to a page about training AI products.
The open internet apparently isn't enough anymore. The race for better AI coding tools is now being run by quietly buying what developers built and kept to themselves.
Tomorrow's already looking strange.
The open internet apparently isn't enough anymore, which means tomorrow will probably have its own version of that.
It usually does. See you then. Singularity Pulse is for informational purposes only. Nothing here is financial, legal, or professional advice. Views expressed are our own.
I'm Knox. Every Saturday on Pulse Deep Dive, one story told in acts. This season, how AI happened, who really invented the internet, and going back to the moon 53 years later. New chapter every Saturday. Find it wherever you listen.
Origins is a different kind of show. Every Sunday, we investigate the forces that shape the modern world. The geography, the science, the commerce, the decisions made centuries ago that are still playing out today. Find it wherever you listen to this podcast.